Well, hello chaps, and welcome back to another episode of DTH Reviews. And today, for Halloween, we are doing Outlast. Woo!
No, you did it. You said you weren't going to.
It feels very weird not to do a spooky night for Halloween.
I suppose.
People love it. They love it.
People will love it.
Oh,
like, oh, okay, yeah. Halloween.
Yeah, now I'm in the mood.
We get it.
I'm all tense now. Oh, they got shivers going down there.
Scary.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Whew, they're in the mood. They're ready. Okay, so Outlast. So, did it spook you, Jameson? Did you find Outlast at all scary while you were
Nah,
playing it?
not at all. It was
Not
a
even a wink.
cakewalk. I was just like, no, this isn't scary. Pff, what is everybody complaining about?
Did you weep?
Almost. Yeah,
I think the best way to start off Outlast review is say it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it's like kind of paralyzing, I think. At times I was sort of just like, there were more than a few instances where I sort of just didn't want to do anything more. I didn't want to play a single minute more of Outlast. And that, I think, is a compliment for horror games, that it just sort of scares you to a point where we didn't want to play it anymore. Like, I mean, we both sort of played it similarly, where we played about an hour a month ago and then abandoned it because we both sort of got to the same part and waited till the last possible second to play through the rest of it. And that's it's really, really scary.
I think they almost took like a slight risk of pushing away like mediocre horror fans, maybe not hardcore horror game fans, by making it so terrifying that some people might avoid it completely, because it really is not for the faint of heart. This is probably the scariest game that I've ever played by far, I'd say.
I would have been one of those people that avoided it. Unfortunately, though, the wonderful developers sent me a code, and so I said, well, okay, I have to play it, and so do you. So, but yeah, normally I really don't like horror games. I'm not meant to play them.
Yeah, They had their audience. They had their audience of horror fanatics, and I think anyone looking for a horror game is going to be very, very over the moon with how much they might pee themselves. So should we break it down? The gameplay is very reminiscent of, I thought of Amnesia: The Dark Descent, in the way where you have no weapons, you're kind of stuck in these kind of claustrophobic settings. You can flee, you can hide when you're chased by these horrible-looking AIs. It's set in an asylum, so you get these really crooked, demented patients chasing you around. And the only tool you have is a camera, which provides you with night vision, but it requires batteries, which you have to scour the environment to find. They are limited, and you panic as they start to run out. And also, even the night vision is very limited. The field of vision is very limited. You can't see very far in front of you, like a good 3 feet, and then you'll be in rooms and you can hear enemies getting closer, but you still can't see them even with night vision. So you're pretty inhibited all the way through the game. You never really feel like you're in control at any situation. So that's kind of the breakdown. What parts? Is there any parts that specifically stood out to you that you really liked about the game?
I really liked the camcorder. I think that the camcorder sort of helps set it apart from everything else that's come out, because looking through the camcorder when you're not in night vision doesn't really do a whole lot. But that night vision mode really, the sort of look and limitations, like you said, of the visibility of the night vision, it never stopped making things really freaky. Like every room that was dark, you have to turn night vision on because you have to see where you're going. But that night vision effect just makes everything look so menacing. And
yeah, I agree. It's quite similar to the lamp feature in Amnesia: The Dark Descent, but when you have oil for your lamp in Amnesia, it's quite a relief, because it does illuminate the whole room. Whereas the camcorder in Outlast kind of only transitions you from being completely blind to kind of being able to see about 4 feet in front of you. So That's the only relief you get in Outlast, is being able to see like your toes in front of you. So yeah, it's a well done mechanic, and you're right, it does look good. I think they did a really good job with the environments and some of the let's say the scenes in the game. There are some very, very disturbing, creepy, and just horrific scenes in the game that kind of turn your stomach at some point. It's just a horrible, dirty, gloomy game all the way through. There is no no parts of this building that are happy in any way. It's really kind of pushes some boundaries. There's some really nasty and sickening scenes in it of just like flayed and decomposing corpses, and like there's so many corpses. And the enemies, we'll talk about the enemies in a second, are all horrific close up as well.
And they all are not wearing pants. It's really strange.
Yeah.
I really liked the sort of Mirror's Edge aspects to it, where like they are really dedicated to the first person, and I really like that you can see your entire body. I really like how it sort of handles your hands, you know, how you can like put your hand up against the wall and peek around the corner, and how you can slowly open and close doors, and I really liked all that stuff. I thought it was really, really cool.
I never used the slow opening door tool either. I was
just kick those doors open and haul ass everywhere.
It was like ripping off a band-aid. Like if there's something behind the door, just show it to me. I don't want to slowly reveal it, but you have the option, so that was cool. So should we talk about the enemies of the game, which are the patients in this asylum? I was very impressed. I thought the AI were really well done, especially in a horror fashion. Not only do they all look, they just look so, they're sickening just to look at. Especially when you turn around and they're right in your face. It's just a scarring moment. But I like the programming, the way they chased you, and the way that even if you hid, they would search around for you. God damn, when you're hiding in a locker and they start opening lockers nearby, I'm just like squealing a little bit.
They're good. I sort of, especially in the last sort of, 2 hours of it, I really felt like it would have been nice if they had changed things up a little bit. Because I think the not the majority of it, but a lot of the scare comes from jump scares. Get them out! Which, they're cheap and easy, but they're really effective. But it sort of got a little, it got a little tiring at the end of it when it's just like, oh my god, yes, another jump scare. And it got me every time, but it sort of got a little annoying. And the sort of same objective all the time of, having to find a key to get this door open, and then the big fat ugly horrible guy comes and chases you around, and that just those two things sort of started to they sort of started to get a little old near just in the last sort of hour and a half, just because it was, you had done it maybe 5 or 6 times already, but it never stopped being really, really scary.
Yeah.
How about the story?
Oh, God. Okay, so the story is very limited to, at the beginning anyway, it kind of goes along the lines of you just finding notes on the floor. And I just didn't give a shit about any of these notes I was finding. I was like, I would walk into a room just sweating from panic, and then I would pick up like this dossier on the floor, and it's like
3 pages of medical notes.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't care. There's a guy chasing me with scissors, for fuck's sake. I don't care what this patient is. And then you get to the end of the game, and no spoilers, but like, I think you're supposed to have read them, because then something happened. I was like, what is going on? I just want to leave. God, just let me leave.
Yeah, I sort of feel like, they included a story, and I don't know, like you said, it's really, you're not very motivated to explore. Like most games, I sort of enjoy exploring environments and finding hidden story things, but for something like this, I did not want to look in every room for pieces of paper, and then when you did find those pieces of paper, it was, one every half an hour, and you're missing 3 in between, and so none of them really made sense. But then, it doesn't, it's not exactly the most wonderful story. I think it's okay to have a game that doesn't have a great story every once in a while if it's really effective in other areas. Yeah,
I wish it didn't try so hard. I was too scared to care, if that makes any sense. All I wanted to do was to leave and to never come back. That would have been my perfect story. Like, we haven't said any backstory. It's quite simple. You're a journalist and you go in a building and you're basically just trying to like get a story, and then it just gets out of hand, and then stuff happens, and that's all I really got from it. One thing we didn't go into much depth is the battery management. How did you find, like we said, with similar to the amnesia lamp oil? How did you enjoy that? How did you enjoy scouring the land for batteries and the panic of when you were down to your last few?
I never ran out.
Me neither.
I think the lowest I ever got was maybe 1. But yeah, when you have to reload batteries and you cannot see anything at all, it's horrible.
Yeah, when you run out of batteries during chase scenes, that happened to me a few times, and it's pretty horrifying.
They do a good job of really scattering the batteries out. Like I don't think I found much more than 20 in the whole game.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, they did a good job of never really giving you too many, so that you actually had to utilize, like smartly use the night vision, which something we said about a machine for pigs where you could just have your lamp up the whole time. I thought it would have been a lot scary if it was like the Dark Descent, where you had to manage when you could see fully with the light, and they do that here, and they do it really well.
I think they did some quite intelligent stuff with some of the scares as well. I know you said like near the end it was quite jump scare ridden. But there were times where you presume that a jump scare is coming, like it's a perfect place for one, and then one doesn't happen, and then you'd be somewhere else and you feel quite comfortable, and then something just jumps out. So overall, I think they were smart with the game. There were very few times where I saw a jump scare coming. There were a few, but throughout the game, most of the times where there were some really scary moments, I didn't predict that they were going to happen. Most of the time, anyway.
Yeah.
There was one very small thing that I didn't like about the game, and they tried to involve quite a few moments where you had to do a lot of jumping. And for me, it was quite wasn't 100% responsive. And when you are being chased by a guy with a machete and you're trying to get into an air duct and you're just jumping up against a wall and I'm just squealing and crying, it was a little bit frustrating. But that's kind of like the only thing I had trouble with, I think, across the whole game.
That sounds. I did find myself once or twice getting I don't know if disoriented is a little bit disoriented in the levels, like not really knowing where to go and just sort of running in circles, looking for like a fuse for an elevator chute. There were sort of 2 or 3 areas where I just got not lost, but I just didn't really know where I was going, maybe because I was running around screaming.
Yes, yeah.
But you just sort of get into these instances where you just run around in circles and keep running into the giant fat jerk that rips your head off, and that sort of got frustrating. But I think that's more due to me just running around panicking and not just slowing down ever so slightly to pay more attention to the environment. But yeah, that's okay.
So overall, it's one of the most horrifying horror games I've ever played. Some of the moments where you first run into these patients and you're in the dark and you're running around blind, and they have a little mechanic we didn't even mention where you can actually look behind your shoulder while you're running, which I wish they never put in the game because that is just horrifying. It's definitely some of the most chilling moments of video games I've ever played. So if you are a horror fan, pick this game up. If you're not a horror fan, stay away. This is hardcore horror. It's absolutely terrifying. So do you want to summarize and give your rating?
I'm going to give it a pretty strong 4 stars. That's sort of somewhat due to length. It's also 4.5, 5 hours long for $20, which is all right. And it's really, really effective, but it has a couple of things that sort of bug me. But I mean, yeah, I don't ever want to play another minute of it. And I think I mean that in the nicest, most complimentary fashion. It's really goddamn scary. I'm the same. I give it a good 4 stars. I had a really good time with it. I was jumping, I was screaming, I was laughing at myself for jumping and screaming. Yeah.
And I wanted to be scared, and I was scared. The only thing that let me down was I thought the story was ridiculous. We're not going to talk about the ending, but no idea what was going on there, and I didn't really care. It's
more of just a haunted house, just run through and get scared, and don't worry about anything else other than being scared, and you'll be scared. Don't worry.
Yeah, I think it's good to rate a game on what the game is trying to be.
Yeah.
And the game is trying to be scary, and it's terrifying. So, thumbs up for those guys, and have fun wetting yourself and having nightmares after playing it.
Get them out!